Today's gonna be a fun video. Rather than looking at a watch, we're gonna look at some really cool watch accessories that Vario just sent over to me. I've got a couple of colorful Italian leather straps, a surprisingly useful leather accessory tray, and a really gorgeous watch stand. Let's go ahead and check them out. One of the things that I really appreciate about Vario as a micro brand is that they do so much more than just watches. There's a lot of micro brands out there that are completely focused on watches. They make some pretty cool micro brand watches, but they also make a ton of accessories that they are really kind of thinking up themselves and coming up with their own designs. And I think it's really cool to have a company that's sort of focused on that as well, to not only try and provide people with cool watches, but also, you know, cool watch accessories and these other things. And we've got some good examples of that today. So here's what we're looking at. First off, we have a really nice watch stand that I'll show you in a minute. We have two different kinds of straps. These are their Italian leather straps in green and red, and then these are their single pass Twill NATO straps, which we'll be putting these on some watches as usual in a little bit here. And then this is a sort of accessory tray that you can use for a lot of different things, and we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so pricing on all of these, I believe that the watch stand retails for about $40. The Italian leather straps, also about $40. Twill straps right now I think are on sale for about $10, and then the accessory tray is about $20. So let's start with these two Italian leather watch straps. Now I have had the black version of this strap, which is this one here, for a while, and this is one of my favorite watch straps in my entire collection. So these are a little bit pricey, but they are definitely a premium product, and the leather that they use for these is really phenomenal. It just has a great smooth feel to it, great finish, breaks in really easily, and it being Italian leather and it being full grain leather, this is the kind of leather that should last for a long time. It's the kind of thing that should look better with age, not worse with age. So you know, you're spending more money, but you're getting a strap that should, you know, give you a lot more wear and a lot more long-term use. So I think it's worth it. And I believe when Vario originally came out, they came out with the black and some more conservative colors, and with the success of those, they came out with these more brighter ones. You can get these in, you know, blue and orange and red and green. I have the red and green ones here today, and I wanted to try those out because I think it's fun to be able to play around with color a little bit. So I've got some watches that I think might look good with these, and we'll check it out. But what you're getting is a very nice tapered strap, just really beautifully finished and super high quality all the way around. You can see that the leather has a really nice textured finish to it. And the dyeing process is really well done. It just feels like natural leather, despite the fact that in this case it's a fairly vivid green color. You got some nice kind of contrasting stitching going around as well. Hardware is very solid, nice and polished, kind of matches the more dressy nature of the strap. And everything is, yeah, really high quality. Yeah, and you can see this one is Italian leather, which is, yeah, about as premium as it gets when it comes to leather products. So definitely nice to see that option there. So this one I'm going to go ahead and pair with this green Axios diver. So if you're doing leather in a diver, you might not be into that, but I thought it'd be cool to try that out to see if we can match the colors a little bit. All right, so there you go, and I think that actually looks pretty cool. I like the option to have something colorful. I don't normally go for colorful straps and things myself. Normally I don't go for really colorful things like this. I usually go for more conservative, your typical blacks and browns, but I thought it'd be really fun to try this out and wanted to give it a shot. And I think it can work. You know, especially if you are more into kind of a fashion sort of thing where you want to match colors with your outfit and, you know, have your watch colors match as well. It's kind of fun to be able to do that, and it definitely gives your watches a much different look than usual. So if you are looking to make sort of a style point, changing up your straps to different colors is a good way to do that. Now we'll get to the red one in a second here, but now that we've got one watch already strapped up, we can go ahead and show the watch stand a little bit. So this is made of Russian beech wood, they say, and then the base is concrete, so it's pretty sturdy, pretty nice heavy base, so it's not going to get knocked over too easily. And just a really nice kind of contrasting look. The beech wood here is really well done, really smooth, nicely sanded and polished. And it shaped like a wrist. It looks like a, like a cutaway of someone's wrist almost. You can see that they've got the kind of leg coming up here to give you space to slide the watch over that. And, the concrete base is this very kind of industrial look that sort of contrasts with the wood. And it just looks great. It's a really great looking watch stand. It's great to have this, just kind of sitting on your desk ready to accept a watch if you're ready to, if you want to take your watch off and just, put it on. And it makes a great display as well. If you use a particular watch you kind of want to show off, this is a great way to do it. On the base, you've got a cork surface to kind of protect the bottom, so you're not putting this kind of heavy concrete onto your desk or other things that might scratch. It's got a nice padded base to prevent that. In order to use it, you're basically just going to secure your watch like you would have it on the wrist, but do it kind of loose. This looks like it's maybe about the size of like an 8-inch wrist, just by my guess. So you want to kind of think like that when you're doing it, and then it just slides on there, and it just holds the watch on there. Again, it's a nice smooth wood surface, so it shouldn't hurt your watch or the strap or anything. It's a great way to, if you have a strap that you're trying to break in, you can kind of, put it on there and just leave it on the watch, and it just sort of sits it there and lets it stay in a place where it can be viewed really easily. Now this does have one major drawback to it, and that is that this part of it is not adjustable at all, which can be a problem if you're trying to put a watch with a bracelet on it. Because a bracelet you can't adjust, if your wrist doesn't happen to match the size of this, it's not really going to fit very well. So in my case, I usually can't fit a braceleted watch onto here when it's sized to my wrist. And if you open it up, you kind of hang on there, which it'll still do. You can still hang your watch on there, and it's just a good place to put it. However, it's now not sitting very well. So maybe the bigger problem of it being this way is the fact that the bracelet will often come in contact with this concrete base, and you might get some extra scuffs on your bracelet because generally, concrete and metal bracelets aren't always a great match. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for use with braceleted watches, but if you use leather or rubber or NATO straps or anything other than a bracelet, you should have no problem, and this works really well for that. So let's go over to this red one, and for this I'm going to go ahead and pair it up just with a simple Timex Weekender. I think white dial watches, simple white dial watches in particular, are really good for dressing up with colored straps like that. Okay, so there you go. Really changes the look of the Weekender, gives it a much more colorful, vibrant look. Now, one of the concerns that you might have with these is that they can tend to make a watch look more feminine when you get these bright colors with the contrasting stitching. I think particularly this red one. So maybe better for a lady's watch, or if you want to give one of your watches to your wife or girlfriend to wear. Maybe a color like this might work better for them. But I think some guys could probably pull off the kind of, almost lipstick red color of this. It does look great with the watch, but again, if you're looking for a men's watch, I'm not sure, you do kind of have to be a little bit careful with the color choices, I think, for some guys. But that will depend largely on personality, I think. So if you can pull it off, go for it. It probably is getting a little too... maybe not quite my style, personally. Okay, so before we jump over to the Twill NATO straps, let's go ahead and check out this accessory tray for a minute. and move things around. So what you have here is just a really simple, basically a square piece of leather that has these snaps in it that allow it to, be snapped together to make a kind of shallow tray. And this is actually surprisingly useful. I wasn't sure what I would use it for exactly, but just having it on your desk to have a place for setting down a watch. This is a very nice, smooth piece of leather in there, so it's not going to scratch the watch. It won't scratch the crystal of the watch. And so it's really good to have something like that to put it there. It also protects whatever is underneath it. So if you have a nice wood table that you want to be careful not to be scratching with metal watch cases, this is one of the things you can do, is setting it down. I've also been using it for strap changes. It's really cool to have a smooth surface like this to work on, and I love that you can just kind of unsnap everything, and suddenly you just have a flat piece of leather to work with, and now it's something that sort of transforms into a work surface for a watch that will allow you to, do a strap change or do a little bit of work on it without having to worry about scratching the crystal of the watch, just having that nice smooth surface there. And then when you're done, it allows you to kind of keep spring bars in there as well and keep tools from rolling around or rolling off the table. So just really, actually kind of surprisingly useful thing. And it's kind of the thing, the more you have it, the more odd uses you might find for it. Another one I've been using it for is as a dice tray. So you can roll dice if you're into gaming. It kind of pads the sound so it's not so loud, and it keeps the dice from going everywhere. So I found it very handy for running D&D campaigns at night. So you can do that as well. So a lot of versatility to something like this, surprising amount. And yeah, it's just nice. It's just really convenient actually to have a little tray like this sitting on your table or on your desk to kind of keep all the watch stuff that gets tossed around. For me, the only thing I would like to see kind of change on this is I would have preferred if the leather was a little bit thicker and stiffer. This is, it's a very nice piece of leather actually. It looks beautiful, really soft inside, just really nice high quality piece of leather. And you can see how it's already kind of picking up a bit of a patina as it's picking up scratches and things like that from throwing things in. It actually looks better. It just looks like a great piece of, leather that is going to age really well. But I would have liked to have seen it thicker. It's very kind of flexible and a little bit flimsy. I think a little bit more stiffness and thickness to it would have made it a little bit more useful for keeping its shape in the long term. But as it is right now, yeah. And you might also wonder if you really want to spend $20 on what is really just a simple, nice piece of leather with some snaps attached to it. That might be up to you to decide. But it is a really cool little gadget that I definitely appreciate. Okay, so let's move on to the last thing they sent me, and this is a single pass. They call it a Twill NATO strap. So it's a single pass NATO, and the twill I think comes from the texture of it. Let's get up nice and close here. You can see that it's got a really interesting weave pattern on it, almost a little bit of a 3D effect, and they look great. Even something as simple as this one, where it's just kind of a sand color, it really catches the light in interesting ways. It's just a really nice high quality material that they're using here that just has just a great little shimmer to it. And you can get it in some really vibrant colors. You can get it like this one with a orange with sort of a racing stripe down the middle, or something simple like this. I've also got just like a dark navy one too. So a lot of nice, really classy color options that they have for this. You're definitely getting like a premium hardware here, really thick buckle, signed with the Vario logo, all brushed, and then really big, really nice thick keepers as well. And then it is single pass, so it's going to wear a little bit slimmer on the wrist than a traditional NATO. And I haven't had many single pass before. I really like it. I definitely liked a little bit thinner profile, even if it is at the expense of a little bit of security of not getting that extra piece of NATO in there. Okay, let's go ahead and pair these up with some watches. Okay, so first up, here is the Bulova Moon watch. So this is a watch with a kind of military space history to it. So putting it on a NATO is always a good match, but when you put it on a nice bright NATO like this, it also has a little bit of a kind of a vintage racing watch feel too. So I think the colors sort of bring out that character of the watch a little bit, and it's just a really fun, comfortable look. And again, you can see it really doesn't add a whole lot of height to it because it is just a single pass. Okay, and finally to round things out, we have the new Aviate, I believe it's the P51 Mustang chronograph. Really interesting looking watch, really cool design on this one. I'll be doing a full review in a little bit. This one that I have comes on a metal bracelet, but it's kind of fun to pair it up with, I think, like a sand kind of NATO strap on this. Sort of tones it down a little bit. But also an interesting look. These Twill NATO straps right now, I think they're still on sale for around $10, which is a really great price for the quality of strap that you're getting and the look of it. I really, again, love that kind of sheen and that texture to it. You know, you can take something that's really simple, like just a solid tan color like this, and it really kind of gives it a lot more of an interesting look without it going over the top. So I think these are some really cool straps that they have at a really affordable price. Okay, so I'll put a link to Vario's website down below in the description if you want to go and check any of these things out. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your favorite product from Vario that we reviewed today is and what you think of these things. I always enjoy checking out their things because, again, it's something different from just a typical watch or even just a typical watch strap. I think everything they do, you can really see the attention to detail and just the thought that they put behind crafting these products for watch lovers. So yeah, so definitely go check them out. They have a lot of different interesting things on their site. But again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Talk to you later. Bye.